Peter Hyde is an English-born abstract sculptor, best known for his upright, large-scale welded sculptures made of heavy industrial scrap steel. He was a student and collaborator of Anthony Caro and studied at St. Martin's School of Art. He accepted an invitation to teach at the University of Alberta and has been teaching there since 1977. Choosing to move far away from the London art scene, which gave him the freedom to develop his work on his own terms. Hyde has exhibited sculptures across Canada and the UK, and co-founded the Edmonton Contemporary Artists Society in 1993.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Frozan.
And I'm Jacqueline, and today we're interviewing Peter Hyde.
And I'm very pleased to be here.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity, it's an honor. Alright, so we'll start right away. We have some questions written down. So we'll start with, why do you think art is important?
After religion, I think art is the second most important thing in a way. It's out of the world. And something that's out of the oh dear, I can't know how did I put it, mundane life, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's a form of expression that other people can relate to too as well.
Yes, it can take people out of themselves.
Very
yes,
true. And where do you get your inspiration from? What inspires your work?
That's interesting. Well, I think that some people are down on earth, you know, and some people are very imaginative, you know. If you're imaginative and you are emotional as well, then you'll get that would be the sort of things that you would look for to be a real artist.
Would you say there's certain artists that you look up to in your artistic style, or that influence your art in any way?
I look up a lot of artists and things that resonate with me, but I mean, you know, any great artist, most of them, I like them, you know. I mean, obviously I was very influenced by Anthony Caro, you know, and I know a lot about his work, and I respect his work, but I wanted to get out of his style.
So, on the topic of Anthony Caro, like, if you hadn't have met him, do you think you would have gone in a different direction with your art?
Well, before I met Tony, I was very Henry Moore and Barbara Hepworth, you know, the carvers.
Yeah.
I was a wood carver. That's how I found out that I was a sculptor. When I went to a provincial school just outside Croydon. Anyway, there, you know, I wanted to be a painter. Everyone wanted to be a painter, you know, but I wasn't. You know, and one of the teachers there told me, you know, you're not a painter. You know? Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
Freed me.
Well, thank God, right? Or else you
Yeah.
wouldn't have these.
And here you are.
Yes. So yeah, no, he was the only one. He said it, and I probably I spent I would have found towards being a sculptor, because that was what I immediately almost could do it, and in carving. But it took a while to find my way, you know, and that it does. You know, if you find your way too early, it's not so good. No. But you have to find yourself, you know, and you don't. People who mature very quickly and don't generally last.
And would you say in your work, does your life experiences and personal life ever impact your work?
Well, they obviously do, unless you're a very strange artist.
Do you think that your teaching has affected your art in any way?
Not exactly, but I do get ideas sometimes from students' work, you know. It can be stimulating,
Yeah.
yes. But how powerful it is, I really don't know. But I do know it's there, you know. I mean, yes, definitely. But you don't. I like to do it. I used to be more articulate. I'm getting old and I'm a bit doddery about talking about. But yeah, I always talked a lot, and so I was quite happy. I started teaching when I was 23, you know, and but I think what I really got out of it was it grounded me, you know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think I'd be, you know, Beethoven or a lunatic or something, you know, and get out of control, you know. So I think that that's been good for me as a bit of a balance.
Of course.
Yeah. But many people, big artists, don't, you know, they don't, and they wouldn't want to teach, you know.
Why do you think that is?
Well, they want to get on with the art, you know, and I mean, yeah, and I don't know, but all I know is for me that it was a grounding thing,
Yes.
you know.
If you could give one piece of advice to any young artist, what would you give them?
Well, I think you've got to, it has to be that, you know, it's a dangerous, it's a very dangerous thing to say. I'm hesitant to say. I mean, you know, artists are pretty ruthless in a way, you know.
Yeah.
They, you know, Monet, or Manet, was it? No, it was Monet, I think. Or was it Manet? I can't remember. He looked at his wife when she died, and he was just interested in the paint of her colouring as she was dead. Not that meaning that he is a terrible, you know, horrible person, but that is the sort of detachment that it does bring that about to some degree, you know. It's not a pretty sight, perhaps, or totally, but it doesn't mean that all artists are, you know, horrible husbands or wives or whatever, but it's there, this, you know, because art itself is out of this world in a way, and the people who do it are also in some ways out of this world.
You have to remove yourself a little bit.
Yeah, to really be an artist. I mean, artist is illogical, you know. The whole point is illogical. Logical is engineering and things like that. And art is not. Art is, if you put it in a bad light, you might say it's deceit, you know. But if you're living in a world like religion, but are not as important, it is not, it's number two, I think. Number one is the spiritual.
Yeah. Did you always have interest in art as a child? When did you
Yeah,
find
I did, but I didn't know it was art, but I drew a lot. And, and I liked when I saw boys who did good drawings at times. I remember giving a boy of about when I was 6 or 7, buying some very nice drawings this boy had done of trawlers with the nets and everything. And I gave him sixpence for them, and he gave them to me. So, you know, that was, it was there, I think, but I didn't know, you know, art or anything.
Yes. You were always creative, imaginative. It was always inside you.
Yes, yes, it's just born, a lot of that's just born at you. Yeah.
Yes. Tell us about your wife. We know she's an artist, she's a painter. How did you guys meet? How is it like being married to another artist? What's that like?
Well, that's good if you're both artists. I think that is very good. As I said in the car, I met her at St Martin's, you know. She came over there wanted to study at St Martin's, but the rates had gone up, the fees had gone up horrendously, and it was 1967 and things changed. So I met her there, we're both old-fashioned, I would say. That I was, she was brought up in South Africa from 1945 to 1965, so she grew up there as an upper middle class person, and I was a middle class person in England. My father was an engineer, and so there was a bit of difference there, a little bit, but we were both more really Edwardians, I would have thought. You know, we both had fathers that were much older, grandfathers that were much older than our contemporaries. They were a whole century. My grandfather was 1876 he was born, and so was her grandfather. And most of my mates, their grandfathers were 1900. So there was a whole, and so I was, for the first 5 years I lived in a sort of Edwardian house with my grandfathers, and I liked it, and you know, and I think it was similar. We also seemed to be the only two people we knew that we liked our families. Most of my student friends have said, I'm getting away from, want to get away from my family. So that we were rather two old stodgies.
And do you think your relationship or your partnership with your wife ever affected your art style? I'm guessing you guys would have amazing conversations because you guys are both in artists. What's that like?
That's interesting. Well, I don't know that we have. We can, yeah. She gets my art, and I get hers, and I can have her around, and she will tell, you know. She's different to me. I mean, I'm a sort of big scale sort of person. I'm not very good at details, and she's very good at details. So that's the difference.
So you appreciate that, the difference?
Well, yeah. So she'll look at things sometimes, and I go, oh no. But yeah, we can help each other. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Sure.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
Like having someone who understands your art is so important too.
Yes, someone who gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that wouldn't work too well. No, I don't think. No. If it was different.
Why steel? We were wondering.
Oh well, my families, you know, going backwards, there was quite a lot of engineers in,
Okay.
and in steel,
Oh,
you
okay.
know, engineers all in steel,
Yes.
not wood.
Yes.
So that may be partly it. Wait a minute, what was the question?
Why steel?
Why do you use steel?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's so into me. that
Your
I can't
family, I guess.
So yeah, there was that, the engineering, and I had a sense of structures. I mean, I'm not particularly good at maths, but I can visualize things quite well. This is called Mariposa. Mariposa is, in fact, butterfly, I believe it means.
Yeah.
But it also is Mariposa, and then maybe this is more to the point, is what the bull's position where they hold the cape out with the knife behind. Oh, that, yes.
Yes.
Mariposa. So it has the sense of a standing figure with a cape.
And you said this is going to Glenboy in Calgary?
Yes.
Where are they going to display it, outside?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. And when is this going out?
Very soon.
Very soon.
Very
That's
soon,
exciting.
yeah.
Are you going to be there as well?
Well, I'll take it down there, you know, we'll take it down with a lorry, and then I don't know what will happen here, because they're moving from one building to another, so I expect it'll be in a storage for a while.
Do they tell you what, when you're doing work for galleries and museums, do they tell you what they want you to do, or do they just...
Oh, no, I don't. That's a commission if you do that. Now, I do occasionally do commissions, well, as you know, I don't. But I don't. It's a very disciplined thing to do a commission. It's like you're being an industrial designer, you know, to some degree. You have to sort of take a lot of other things into account, you know.
So you decide which one you want to send out of all your works?
No, as a matter of fact, I sent down a book or something. The curator particularly liked this work.
That makes sense.
Yeah.